Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Finger Guns Podcast with Tony, Dave, and James. I am your hot docky film boy, Jimmy, and I'm here with...
Fly on the Wall, Big T, Tony B.
Yeah, and...
Dave, Smooth Criminal Baldwin.
Ooh, he's a smooth criminal today.
I am a smooth criminal. I've been listening to a whole lot of Michael Jackson.
That makes sense.
So I guess the movie did its job.
If by doing its job it was just be a closest to a reimagining of every Michael Jackson hit song, yeah, if that was its job.
I'm listening to a couple new songs. I can't get enough of Work All Day and Night. I'm working.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Yeah.
I love it.
That's a good
tune.
tune.
You're not on PYT yet?
No, I can't get behind that one yet.
I did throw on the Thriller album the other day on vinyl because my running theory is that everybody has a copy of Thriller. Most of them are used copies, but everyone has a copy.
I bought a new one.
And you're the exception.
I am the exception.
I need it. This is the one vinyl I don't have.
It was like one of the last times we went on Record Store Day.
Yeah.
I was like, I need this.
How
do I not have this? I need this.
And this is where I assume, I feel like a lot of people of my generation who started collecting records, if they went through their parents' collection of any of it, Thriller was there.
Thriller was definitely there.
Because I went through my parents and Thriller was there, and I'm like, yoink!
I think we have it on cassette. I know we have Bad on cassette.
Yeah, we definitely have Bad on cassette.
I don't know if
I remember that.
I'm almost certain we have Thriller on cassette.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're here. This is a fun little bonus episode we're putting out in the world for you because we're covering the Hot Docs Film Festival, the Toronto Hot Docs Film Festival, and we have a bunch of documentaries to get through. And instead of throwing this all into one long episode that would be like 3.5 hours long, we're breaking it up a little, giving you guys a break, giving you guys a taste now so you can get hyped for when we do unload everything else on you next week.
Yeah, so instead of a 3.5 hour episode, it's only a 2.5 hour.
Yeah. This is your amuse bouche of hot dogs, so to speak.
And it's just easier for James to cut.
It does make my life a lot easier when it's split up a little bit.
And your sanity.
Yes, that's true. And it makes my Mac Mini not sweat as much when it has to bounce a 2.5 hour episode.
I get it.
That makes sense.
I get it.
Anyway, let's get into it. So as this is a film festival, like every film festival we cover, we have our designated film festival Sherpa.
I am the resident festival Sherpa.
Before you do, I just want to give the one little shout out and apology to Chandler Levac, who we talked about a lot in our last episode. I happened to call it Mile High Kicks a lot.
Oh shit! Okay,
instead of Mile End Kicks,
Mile End Kicks.
Mile High Kick. I
kept calling it Mile High Kicks. It is Mile End Kicks.
This editorial correction brought to you by Dave Baldwin's Mile High Kicks.
So I think that's what the sequel should be called. Mile High Kicks.
Yeah. All right. Well, Miss Levac, there we go. We just pitched you a sequel.
Yeah,
there you go.
Well, I'm glad we corrected that slight and that wrong.
Yes, I was very annoyed with myself every time I said it.
I'm annoyed that Tony and I didn't catch it at all. We just let it happen.
You just let it go.
My bad. Our bad. From all of us here, apologies. Tony,
the resident film festival Sherpa.
Yes.
Big T, Tony B.
Yeah.
Yes.
We got five on the docket tonight.
Yeah, where do you want to start?
That are all ranging in.
It's hot dogs, Tony. The subject matter is
all over the place. All over the place. So we have seen. I would say the three of us have seen 4 out of the 5. All 3 of us, and then there's one that me and Dave have seen.
Yep.
Yes.
All right. So we're gonna start with that one that me and Dave just saw,
and then
we'll just talk all 3 of us.
Pitch this one to me.
So, Mr. David.
Yes, sir.
We're going to start our little hot dogs conversation with a hot button topic.
Oh, great.
And a very sobering topic as well.
Oh, great.
Dave, tell us, Code of Misconduct.
Well, fun. That's what you want to start with. Okay. Well, thank you for that.
Start heavy.
Let's start heavy with that. So that one was a world premiere. Also, I just want to mention that it's going to be premiering on Super Channel Fuse on May 8th at 9 p.m. if you want to check that one out. I know a lot of the docs that we're going to be talking about tonight, they've already had their premieres and are probably not going to be playing again during the festival. But we will definitely keep you up to date on when they are being released. But that one for sure we do know is coming to Super Channel Fuse next week. So with that, world premiere, Code of Misconduct, is about Hockey Canada and the controversial sexual assault case involving 5 hockey
players.
Young.
They played on the World Juniors.
World Juniors, yes. They were part of the World Juniors team in 2018.
Yeah.
And
it was an incredibly recent case.
It was an incredibly recent case. So you probably remember, if you're Canadian, you probably remember this because this was a big deal.
Yeah.
In 2018, what they were accused of happened then, and the case kind of got settled, and then it came up again. A few years later, when a journalist discovered that it was kind of hush-hush, and it blew things wide open.
Yeah, truly.
So that journalist is in the film, and
he's one of the main subjects.
He's one of the main subjects, and he seems like he's fun at parties.
Yeah.
He works on TSN. Why don't I have your name? Where are you? Rick Westhead. That's his name. I believe that's what his name is. We're going to just double check. Riswick. Yeah, that's him. He's a senior correspondent. So he was the one that broke the story about kind of the hush-hush and where it was going. And kind of, because it was, they opened the case back up because of his reporting. And that's kind of what blew the whole thing open. Kind of all the sponsors dropped Hockey Canada. They had to, like, the board of directors. Everything changed after this. At least on paper, everything changed. I don't know if the culture has changed. But Rick is the main subject of this documentary. It follows him and kind of his uncovering of the story, how he uncovered the story, how he developed it, his connection to it, and then kind of other talking heads talking about what happened.
Yeah, you have like the main detective that was looking into the case. You had other people, like other people that are associated to the case.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And just like other reporters.
Yeah.
And it follows the case, and then there's other little interstitials where he's talking to other junior hockey players about what the culture is like now, how they're kind of trying to change things. There's a big point when it's talking with somebody who is also sexually assaulted by a hockey player and what she's doing now. And kind of how she's educating young hockey players about the culture and how to avoid some of the boys will be boys behavior that has just kind of gone on for
far too long.
Far too long. And I'm not going to say it's surface level. It is very high level. Like, it doesn't go too deep. And I think some of those interstitials are really weird. Some of the music, like, I don't want to say like there's one bit where he goes out on the ice and he's kind of having fun with them and playing with them type thing.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say it's Benny Hill music, but it's really odd and it doesn't fit the rest of the somber music and the somber tone of the movie.
Yeah, it's a very odd scene because like it like almost like stops dead in its tracks just for him to play hockey with some of these guys that he's interviewing, and it doesn't make much sense.
Yeah.
I like that you bring up the woman who's teaching the hockey players. I really liked that whole thing and how she was teaching them about accountability and consent and, like, you know, just not being a piece of shit. And it's really weird. It feels weird coming out of my mouth saying that, oh, this is good. But at the same time, it's just like, why does this need to happen? It doesn't need to be. It doesn't.
It clearly does.
You don't
clearly
need,
does.
Yeah, but you don't need a lesson on how not to be a piece of shit. You just don't be a piece of shit. But unfortunately, with hockey culture, hockey players. No offense, James. I know you play hockey. Hockey players are just really bad people.
I want to hear. I want you to check this out when we do our next round, because I was curious with like the hockey culture aspects of
just
it.
like
I thought I was going to ask you to talk about that.
Even without seeing it, I can tell you a little bit. So there's a few things of note here, but the problem is culture, and it's not like all of hockey culture. It's specifically those who are on that track to head to something like the World Juniors or head to something bigger. It's that rep hockey track that I think breeds that culture in a way. There was guys that I knew growing up. Like, I never played rep hockey. That was not my bag. I was on house league teams, lowest level house league teams. I was
love of the game teams.
Yeah, I mean, most of my teams, even growing up, like the first few years I was playing hockey, it was all boys, but then it was co-ed for a good chunk of it as well. So like, I never grew up with that level of that culture.
I don't know why, but I was just imagining him in the shower room, and it's like the scene from Starship Troopers.
Oh no! on top of all that,
where it's just totally normal and nobody gives a shit.
I used to. No, I was the complete opposite. I used to go to the hockey games like half dressed. Like, I wouldn't shower there, especially not as a kid. Like, I would just go home. But also, like, I don't like public showers to begin with. I feel like I'm gonna get like foot fungus.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's
you wear flip flops.
Yeah, neither here nor there.
Definitely. That's the first thing when I started showering at the gym. That's the first thing I did was buy flip flops.
Yeah, absolutely. A must, or else you're coming home with warts.
Yeah. Gross.
Because people are gross.
It's true.
But
and we're talking about gross people right now.
Yeah, but in that sort of rep culture where it is pushing children really to be at the height of their peak performance, because they're going to make it to the big show, they're going to make it to the NHL, and you're just surrounded, like, it's just all boys all the time, all boys, and it's this toxic male masculinity, like raw testosterone, boys are the best kind of thing. It just bred that culture, and it's never been stopped. And because hockey is as big as it is in Canada, when you hit a certain level, you are prim, you're proper, you are untouchable, you're a sports person, and anything that could tarnish your record would ruin your career, so they would just sweep under the rug, because Canada can't be, the place where fucking boys assault other people. Like, you can't have that.
They go into that about the culture and how these hockey players are untouchable and how they're like, right?
Yeah.
I'm more curious about like the locker room, because there's a scene in the movie when they're talking about the locker room, and it kind of like triggered me, because it reminded me of like basketball and being in the basketball locker room, right? And they specifically say the culture of like kills and like your kill count, and like how many, and like how you were defined by your kill count and the amount of kills that you have. And I'm just like, fuck, man, this is rubbing me the wrong way, because like I remember that from basketball.
That's not even just a locker room thing. That's just guys talking.
Exactly.
Like
that was college, basically.
I have most certainly have been in those conversations before. I'm not going to say that they're nice conversations, but I don't think it's just that when they were talking about that, I was like, that's not just a locker room conversation.
Well, they always, the generic term for it has always been like locker room talk, in quotations, right? Oh, it's just locker room talk. And it's like, yeah, but why? Like, fuck, it's gross. You're just, devolving or, debasing people down to just a fucking number. These are people. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Anyway, but to come all the way back to where this whole point started and how I got into this conversation about a documentary I haven't seen yet, I am going to watch it.
Yeah,
we'll talk about this more.
Yeah, I just like the hockey culture aspect. I think you would be able to speak to better than Tony and I can,
for sure. But it's to come all the way back around to, this is why this needs to happen. This is what, like, it feels jarring to be like, oh, this shouldn't have to be said, but it needs to be said.
Yeah.
You need to, raise children really in a way that respects other people and stop. Like, you don't have to have this culture to be a great hockey player. It has nothing to do with how you play hockey. It's fucking bullshit. It's just nonsense historical garbage that has just been regurgitated from father to son to father to son to father to son, and it has to have happened that way because how else would it have fucking come to be?
Mm-hmm.
So it needs to happen now.
All of that said, it is very highline information. Some of it gets into like the nitty gritty, but if you read a lot of the news articles, then you would have, like, none of this should surprise you. None of these allegations should sound any new to you. They're still just as horrifying and still just as disgusting as you remember them to be. They haven't been softened. Some of the footage and some of like the camera footage that they have of like the night in question, they have her kind of blurred out, so it kind of wrecks some of the footage, or makes some of the footage hard to watch because you're like, okay, well, I can't really make out what the hell is happening, which is not their fault.
Yeah,
but it's just kind of like because she is a anonymous person. They just refer to her as EM, and I kind of wanted a little more depth to it, and it's kind of shitty. Like, they try to get into some of the other things, but then there's nobody from Hockey Canada that talks. There's nobody, none of the five talk. I didn't assume they would.
No.
But I would have thought that they might have gotten some of the lawyers or somebody involved with the team to speak, or somebody involved with Hockey Canada to speak. Because I think if they want to talk more about, because it's so like kind of contained, but they're trying to break out and say more, but they can't because nobody wants to talk about it. And I think if they had somebody who came on to say, nobody wants to talk about it, and these are the reasons why we don't want to talk about it, I think that would have been a little more that would have made it a little more interesting and a little more like they're trying to engage beyond just somebody had a camera and was with the guy as he was on the scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure it was also, there's probably, when you're dealing with court cases, especially this close to when they happened, sure there's NDAs that are happening.
I'm sure.
That are causing a lot of these sort of like roadblocks for who can say what and when and how
I'm sure.
and why. But to your point, it is something where, even addressing that is helpful to kind of paint the rest of that. Like, hey, we reached out to Hockey Canada and this was their statement they gave us, like, we can't participate due to whatever. Like I just wanted more, and there's like this really emotional moment at the end where they're all like kind of like sending their messages to EM and what they want to say to her, and it's really emotional. It's really it's fucking gutting after you've sat through the whole thing and you hear what happened. You have to relive what happened if you or learn what just how far debauched it is. And I just kind of wanted a little more engagement. And then there's just like these little interesting moments too, where they're really actually are trying to say something, but then they don't go in any deeper. Like, they mention that the one guy had pizza.
Oh yeah.
And he came in and he didn't even, and she's like, yeah, pizza. And he didn't offer it to her. He didn't offer it. Like, it's just like this one little callous moment, but I'm like, that's like a microcosm, and you're actually addressing it.
Yeah.
Maybe there's more to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you could say more to this. Don't just point it out and just be like, this is kind of like a fun little anecdote. Sorry, fun is the wrong word, but this is an interesting little anecdote that this happened. I'm the only one that caught this. It's like, well, why aren't you engaging with that? Why aren't you trying to tell me more about this?
The lawyer was basically saying, it's just like, well, the girl was naked and she's a beautiful girl. Why wouldn't you offer her? Why you would do all this, but you wouldn't offer her a bite of your pizza? What the fuck is wrong with you? Kind of thing. And it's like, it takes you out of it because you're just like, wow,
Yeah.
I knew that this had happened. I didn't know details on it, and I didn't really follow it closely like some other people did. So some of this information was really new to me, and I was just like, I'm sitting there with my like mouth, and my mouth is just like slowly dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping. Like this poor woman had to not only live it like 1 or 2 times in the courtroom, she had to live it like 6 times. Like this woman had to be cross-examined by like her lawyer and then 5 other fucking lawyers.
Yeah.
And it's just like the I can't fathom what would be going through her head during all of this, and it's absolutely horrific.
Yeah.
And she's not the first first woman that's had to do something
exactly.
like that. So again, why aren't we engaging with that too?
Yeah.
So it's a little more than top level, but there's these engagement points. There should be more engaged. I feel like it should have gone deeper.
Yeah,
fair enough.
And to James's point, if they can't go deeper with one angle, they could have gone deeper with something else. I think.
Yeah. Well, they brought it. They could have done more with that other subject who was teaching the hockey players. They could have gone like that route to try and like bring more into it.
I'm assuming she's wrapped up in NDAs.
Yeah, it would make sense. I wanted to punch the screen by the end of the movie.
Yeah,
I was really the whole film. My blood was boiling, and it's not an easy watch.
Yeah.
And these hockey players are.
I think it's a necessary watch.
It's a most definitely necessary watch and required viewing for sure. Yeah, these guys are fucking morons. Because like you hear some of their testimonies and stuff, I'm like, how the fuck can you say that? Like, how can you sit across the table and believe what you're actually saying? And like you see, they bring up like some of the text messages between the guys and everything, and it's fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I was losing my mind. I'm just trying to bring up my notes to see if there's anything else that we missed. But yeah, and the most horrific thing is that they went back through Hockey Canada's was it Hockey Canada? I think it was Hockey Canada. And there's been 21 cases since 1989, and they've paid up to $9 million in basically hush money.
Oh, of course.
That's fucking gross.
Yep.
And see, that would have been an interesting thing too. Use this as kind of a jumping off point to talk more about Hockey Canada.
Yeah.
But again, I think this is also a problem that I have, and I brought it up on the podcast before, is I always talk about what they could have done versus what they did do.
Yeah.
So I think there's more that could have been done, and maybe this is just like the first.
Yeah, I mean,
the first
again,
piece.
like,
maybe they will go deeper with like a follow up to this.
Well, like the case didn't get wrapped up. Got wrapped up like this time last year.
Yeah.
Right. So it's still rather fresh.
That's what I mean.
It's very fresh. Yeah. It is very fresh. It's very timely.
We watched another documentary. I think it was maybe last year or the year after that was like literally like a couple months or like while the court case was going on.
Oh!
You remember the one about it was a murder.
Wasn't there one with like the fan? Yeah,
there was a family
the disabled girl, the disabled young
yeah.
girl died.
Yeah.
And they were literally still in court.
Yeah, it was like literally still happening.
Yeah,
it was like
I remember.
Yeah.
So
it's like it's one of those where it's like even that one I was like,
there's
you're getting enough, but it's not quite full because not enough time has elapsed since it so that you could collect and see the whole picture. You're too close to do
to do a proper postmortem.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so. Not exactly uplifting,
fun.
But
sounds,
necessary.
Necessary, but it is a heavy watch for sure.
Yeah.
So let's.
Can you pick something a little more light tone?
Yeah. All right.
So slightly more light.
Slightly more light. Okay. It is hot dogs. They're not known for always giving us the most lightest of subjects.
I'm glad the one doc that we're going to speak about next week we haven't watched yet because I'm sure it's
going to be something.
I'm sure it's going to be something.
Let's go with Kenny Loggins, Conviction of the Heart.
Sure,
Jimmy.
So let's talk about
set us on the journey.
I'm alright.
Dave did it. That's it. That's the journey.
Can I just say one of my most coveted vinyls that I have is the Top Gun soundtrack.
Sure.
It's a good soundtrack. It is a bitchin' soundtrack.
It is most definitely a bitching soundtrack.
I mean, it's a documentary biopic essentially of Kenny Loggins' life and career, starting when he was just literally a child, and moving through his early starts in music, moving through his first duo where it was Kenny Loggins and John Sullivan. No.
It's not Sullivan.
No.
I'll get his name while you continue.
Moving through his duo career, and then breaking out from that duo and moving to his solo career. Him survive.
Jim Messina. Loggins and Messina.
Loggins and Messina. Thank you.
Was that before or after he started this? Like he was in the psychedelic rock band.
Psychedelic rock came first.
Yeah,
he did that psychedelic rock. But this was a bit like like he was like just out of high school trying to figure it out, and started doing psychedelic rock, and then got hooked up with Jim Messina, and then they created this little duo band that created some great songs, and then pivoting off of that and his skyrocket to fame and all the work he did with the movies, and then all of that is being told while you're kind of following his current life, and he's still writing songs. Part of this was during his final tour and some of the stops that he made along the way.
He's coming up with a new song too.
Yeah. So all of that is kind of happening in between there, and you get a sense of who Kenny Loggins was as a kid, who he is as a songwriter, musician, and pop star,
and father.
And you get a snapshot of who he is as a family man and father.
Yeah. I really liked the part where they were interviewing the kids, and all the kids were like talking shit about him. I thought that was funny.
Like I think this documentary had a good balance of kind of everything. Like it was, very centered on the music, very centered on like the songs that he wrote, the hits that he had, the way that he connected with his audience, his own internal struggles with, finding who he truly is. And I like that the other angle of that was there is like people who know him well were talking about it, but it didn't feel like it was completely a puff piece. It was in a lot of ways. It's very much a celebration of Kenny Loggins, which it should be, but he's a human. He has many different aspects, and even he wasn't shy about like he had a Xanax addiction for a while, and like
who hasn't?
Yeah. So like it didn't shy away from anything.
I think it was a little kind of. There were certain parts that didn't feel as finessed as others, and it also felt a little odd at points. Like there's a whole bit with him, I guess, interacting with his trans son.
Yep.
And kind of the journey, the son's journey to what's the word I'm looking for? Transitioning. That's the word I'm looking for. But it also was kind of like, why is this here?
Well, I think it was
it didn't feel like it was set up properly. It just kind of was like, and then this happened.
Well, I think it was trying to, because it was around the same point where he was talking about his relationship with all of his children. The one that was sort of got into music and then kind of quit because he didn't want to become his dad, and then the other two that were kind of whatever, and then the third one that shows up for one little thing and then goes away for the rest of the does homework upstairs for the rest of the movie. And then
Janet Jackson and Michael.
and then Lou, his son now, who's more musically connected, like is writing songs, is kind of taking on his
and performing with his father.
Yeah. So I think that was the angle because it was around the same point. So like I saw it, to your point, a lot of times I'm saying it's not shying away from anything, and it really wasn't, but like it didn't go any deeper than that either. It was like poke at it and then we'll go. But I did like the fact that like in the talking head that he was doing where he was talking about him, and you could tell like this was shot at different points in time as well, because at that point their pronouns were they them, and now it was he him.
Yeah.
And Kenny was struggling at that point, and they just left it in there. Like they didn't, try to recut it or re-edit it to make Kenny look better. They just kind of left it, and it was just like he's human. He's trying to figure his way through this bit. So I liked that it was a little messy.
He makes a comment about that and how he's just trying to figure it out.
He's like, this is new. Clearly, I'm still struggling with it, and but then by the end, like
we also have to be a little more forgiving for people trying to figure it out as well. But if they want to figure it out, good for them. Allow them to struggle and figure it out.
But I like how they left it in there because it humanizes him, and he's like, it's a very humanistic look at him. They're not like putting him on. They're putting him on the pedestal, but not putting him on the pedestal because he's just a human trying to figure it out, and he very much says that he's just trying to find his way.
Yeah. And to come that full circle, that by the end, they're both on stage, him and his son, and they're singing a song together, and like it's great. Like it's a huge full circle moment. I don't know. I overall kind of liked this documentary. It still was, playing to the hits and playing to the crowd, and as you would kind of expect of a documentary that is literally about Kenny Loggins. Like there's not a lot of controversy around Kenny Loggins that you have to get into. But
it needed more Footloose.
It did. It needed more Kevin Bacon.
It definitely needed more Kevin Bacon.
I'm watching this movie and I'm like, how the fuck have I not seen Footloose? I've seen the remake a half a dozen times. I've never seen the original.
That's insane.
That is insane.
I got it on 4K, baby. Come on over. Come on over. We'll cut loose. It's a banger, Tony.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I did in that moment though where he was talking about his movie soundtrack career, which happens in the middle. He kind of like it's very clear now looking back on it that he doesn't really want to talk about it. It's just like whatever. That's what people know me for, but my true fans don't know me for that. And it's like, all right, Kenny, relax.
You're danger zone, man.
Yeah. But I did like that he was like, you know what? It was my way to avoid being fucking speared in the heart by disco. Like I kept my career alive by just pivoting and going to do some movies and stuff.
And I like that because like he pivots, and he shows that
constantly
evolving, constantly pivoting, and like just making it not staying in the same sandbox, like exactly what you said, evolving, turning it doing new things, and that's how he stayed relevant for this long.
And then my fun fact was I didn't know that it was Kenny. I always I associate Danger Zone with Kenny Loggins and Kenny Loggins only. I didn't realize that Giorgio Moroder was the co-writer of fucking Danger Zone. That's wild.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And that also he targeted...
if you push play on Danger Zone and you hear that, that sounds like Giorgio Moroder.
But it's but also knowing that he was telling the story of that and he's like, I was sitting there and I was like, we're not going to go for that song. We're going to go for the volleyball scene song. That's what I'm going to hang it with the boys is what I'm going to write.
I like his the whole side segment on Top Gun alone because they bring in all these top musicians to write the opening song and they get Danger Zone going, but he's just like, you know what, I want to write that.
I'm gonna write the volleyball.
That's no one's going for the volleyball.
I'm going for the homoerotic volleyball
scene. Everybody thinks of when they think of Top Gun. So much so that they had to add a scene like that in Top Gun Maverick.
It's great. It's so iconic that it
But his fucking that fucking song playing with the boys, that is such an iconic song.
With the boys.
Anyway,
also his glorious hair. Every chance focusing on his hair.
Every era of Kenny Loggins' hair was wild. Anyway, I enjoyed this overall. I had a good time with it.
I enjoyed it too. I got a little bit of whiplash because they were going here, there, and everywhere. But
that's what I was trying to get at when that was like, oh yeah, they just dropped this in, and then they just dropped this.
It turns into a full blown nature documentary halfway through too.
Yeah, he stops dead to talk about that one song he wrote for Earth Day. Like, Kenny.
But then
you hear some of those songs, and it's just like, God, insufferable. I can't stand. My biggest pet peeve in music, and I hate every single song that was developed. Where it's just like, oh, I wrote this for a good cause, and it's like, fuck you, especially when they get all these singers together to fucking sing a fucking stupid fucking Do They Know It's Christmas? Fuck off,
Well, they didn't have that in Michael. Like Michael helped do "We Are the World" or whatever.
We are the world. Yeah, with fucking Bob Dylan, and they're barely singing the words. Yeah. That's one of my favorite videos to see. Is like they're recording it, and Bob's just kind of like.
Isn't Prince like refusing to? He's just like kind of there, just like, smoking a cigarette.
It's fucking stupid.
What I liked, one of the scenes I liked about
blouses.
What I liked about the documentary was when it goes into that side thing about the mudslide benefit.
Yeah.
And I really liked how they were going to put Kenny on stage, and he was like, "No, it's not for me. It's for the kids, right?" And he like gives the kids the spotlight. I really that really hit me hard, and I liked that a lot.
Yeah, he just seems like a decent guy.
Yeah.
Again, another great moment, but it was also kind of like, oh yeah,
and here,
oh yeah. Right? So you got you got this, you got nature, and then you got the mudslide, and he's like crying about the mudslide, and I'm like, okay, like they're
and then
it's like I get it. Like this guy.
And then we got to watch 2 final goodbye concerts. One at the Hollywood Bowl, one in the Santa Barbara Bowl.
But this guy's been around for what 50 years. Okay, 50 years. I understand, and they're all cramming this into a 90-minute documentary.
Yeah. It's pretty intense.
It's a lot.
But this is where like you can't really go deeper on anything. So I think they did a good enough job of getting slightly under the surface of humanizing him in a way. It wasn't the Michael biopic that was fucking making him Jesus Christ Almighty on high. Like he at least is a human being in this.
Which Kenny has the hair.
He's halfway
Michael
there.
Jackson does not have the hair.
Yeah. But yeah, like I like that
talk about how we keep calling him Kenny.
We're on a first name basis.
We almost could have been.
We almost could have been.
But anyway, just like having.
I'm
like,
keeping that dream alive.
Just a layer down than just a sprinkle on the surface level, not just the top line of the Wikipedia page. Like they did show and talk about like his personal life, his family life, and overall, as far as like documentaries on a musician go, pretty good.
For a 90-minute documentary about Kenny Loggins, there's
100 minutes.
Is it 100 minutes?
Or like 96.
Okay.
96
It's still 90. Okay. It's 96 of those minutes are like the credits of them like putting up like the concert footage and stuff. There's worse things you could be watching.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this one.
Did you all catch at in his final concert, and just before he was about to go on stage, the one celebrity that they showed giving him a big hug and hanging out?
Who was it?
It was fucking Jeff Bridges.
Oh yeah, that makes perfect sense.
It was like like he didn't say anything. It was the music was playing in the background, and it was just like, oh hey man, like they just had a hug and everything. That makes sense.
One of the songs, is it a Kenny Loggins song in Big Lebowski?
Oh, I don't know.
I thought it was Kenny Rogers.
No, it's Kenny Rogers.
Kenny
Rogers.
Yeah. Anyway,
whatever. I'm all right.
They didn't give justice to Caddyshack.
Caddyshack.
They went for Footloose. They went for Top Gun, and then they yada to everything else.
If they went Footloose, Top Gun, and then jump right into Michael McDonald.
All right, so that was Kenny Loggins' Conviction of the Heart.
Yeah.
So let's go to
Is it Convictions?
Convictions of the Heart.
Convictions?
Yeah.
All right. That was that was a misread on my part.
It's all good.
It's all good.
Not as bad as Mile High Kicks.
Yeah. You were 99%.
99% there. I just forgot the plural.
You forgot the plural. I forgot the whole word.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go for Love Actually.
Tony, you take this one away.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So, Love Actually is a documentary about dating and the dating on the apps.
Something you know about, right?
Something I definitely know about. I've never been on a date before.
Well, good for you, sir.
Yeah, you fucking show off.
So, 81 minutes.
Yeah, real short.
Real short.
Dating's super exhausting.
It always has been.
Like super exhausting.
Always has been.
Yeah, but we're more of the belly of the beast here now. Like it was always exhausting to Dave's point, but it was done in a more sort of human to human kind of way. Now you're sitting between, like it just shifted where like the fastest way to at least meet or know what options are available to you became an app.
Yeah. So this one goes into the algorithms, and it's going on how these apps are basically targeting people for you and like determining who you should meet and how you meet them and all that fun jazz. Kind of horrific. I was a little put off by this, and I'm also put off that one company owns what, like
80%.
80% of the dating apps out there. So one company is like literally in charge of your love life, basically.
Yeah. It's so there was a few things in this. So horrific isn't maybe the word that I would use. Bleak is probably is the more apt word that I felt watching it. But in a lot of ways, this is not for me anyway. This wasn't a lot of new information. Like this was I knew that Match.com owned most of the dating sites out there, save for Bumble, and then all the niche sites that exist, which I always find hilarious. And they had the brief shot of Muzzmatch, which
I had a good laugh about that one. Black people meet and the farmer one,
farmers only.
yeah. There's some real good niche ones out there, which I find interesting. But anyway, Match.com owning basically the big three of Tinder, Hinge, and Grindr, and Match.com and Plenty of Fish and all of the old hangouts. Like were the same company, so it's all the same thing behind it. And it truly is. It's this documentary was focused on interesting aspects of it. Really focused on the addictive nature of apps and how apps are incentivizing you to stay on there longer or to pay for the premium or to pay for this or that thing, because their whole game is not really for you to find a match. It's for you to stay on it longer so they can extract money from you because you're the product.
And
data, which was the other thing that I kind of wanted to talk about, because I think probably one of the most egregious things that I heard in this documentary, obviously they're harvesting data. And I also, I don't want any single person out there that is ever in a conversation with me to ever be like, oh, my phone is listening to me. No, you're feeding it too much fucking data. The fact that Match.com knows people's fucking HIV status is fucking horrific.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Horrifyingly fucked up. And just speaks to I'm glad this documentary was told with the help of a journalist in France, because Europe's data protection privacy laws are so much better. And you could do what she did, where, you
get
with
your
the help of a lawyer,
4 pages of
get
data.
your entire fucking output from them. You're legally allowed to request it. It is your right to request that. And that's how she uncovered a whole bunch of this shit. That I think was one of the most horrific things of just you don't really think about it when you're using or engaging one of these apps, because I gotta tell people about myself, because how else are they going to use it? The side effect to that is you're telling that company all about yourself as well, and now they know exactly who you are and all of these personal details about you that they can then go, here, I have the best package for you, Mr. Advertiser. I know who Dave is, and I know exactly what he likes and what he doesn't like, and who he likes and who he doesn't like, and here you go. You can use all this information as you'd like, and give me money, please. It's fucking
but it's not just
bleak.
it's not just that app. It's not just dating apps.
I'm focusing on it because that was the focus of this documentary.
The focus of the doc. So I'll let Tony speak and then I'll speak.
I was just no. If are you going to speak to his point, or are you going to say something new?
Half and half.
Okay, you go.
No. You speak,
because
mine's going
to be completely like a new.
Okay,
like a
fine. Okay, so this director, her name is Shalini Kantaya. Kantaya. She directed Coded Bias, which we did not see. Correct. And she directed TikTok Boom, which we did see a few years back.
Yes.
So I went back to hear what we thought of TikTok Boom. James had this exact conversation about phone listening in. Yeah. So when he was going on about it, I'm like, you already told. If you're a longtime fan of this podcast, James has already had this rant on there.
I've often had this conversation.
But I hated TikTok Boom. I hated the hell out of that movie, and we're not exactly kind to that movie. This one, I think, was a little less high level and a little more.
It was digging into things.
A little more digging, like a little more, like it was. I keep using the word engage.
Mhm.
It seemed like it was engaging more with it, and it wasn't just like, oh, TikTok's going.
Here's the thing.
Here's the thing. Like the TikTok one seemed very just.
Yeah. It was so surface level.
Very surface level. This one seems a little more cracking into it. But again, it also seems like something that's kind of like the start of something bigger.
Yeah.
Like it seems very much like just like the beginner's level essay.
Yeah.
Or like maybe like the novice level essay. It's
Yeah.
not a PhD thesis.
Intro to shitty apps.
Intro to shitty dating apps. And I thought that they had interesting subjects go on there. And I thought it was awkward as shit watching her play with her VR headset. I thought the VR. Like I love that story, and I love how it turns out. But it's also awkward watching her play with the VR headset.
Yeah, I mean,
the scene when they're cuddling.
Like that's fine. It's fine when you're watching it on the screen, but it's weird watching her do it.
Yeah.
It's also like I refuse to accept the metaverse as a thing. But it is like
it's real.
I know. But what are we even getting at here? Like the graphics are still the absolute.
They are trash. The graphics really are really bad.
Yeah,
it looks like Dreamcast.
Like constantly, her avatars
clipping
was like clipped through her body the entire. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, what kind of like early access Steam game is this? What the fuck am I looking at?
But I like that story and I like that angle. I like that she brought that angle into it.
Yeah.
And I thought it was interesting bringing in the angle of the guy who's on Grindr and has gone through fuck knows how many people.
Yeah. And gets stood up by the end.
And gets stood up. Like, fuck that guy who stood that guy up.
Yeah.
Goes home, watches Tangled with his cute little dog.
Yeah.
I'm just like this is fucking devastating.
Yeah.
But I think it prodded a lot more than TikTok Boom did.
Mm-hmm. To its credit, even, and then Tony, start your new point because this just spins right off of that. But to its credit and its detriment, there was the one spot where I was like, "Ooh, you had something there," and you just kind of left it. Was they actually got the head researcher of Match, and I was like, "That's a wild get. Like, good for you for getting considering your angle on this to have." That doctor agreed to appear as a data scientist and medical doctor, like mapping out, love and talking about what love is. It feels weird in this because they just kind of let her basically share what effectively is the company line. It's like, oh, well, we're all looking for love. Like I've written the book on love and like do this little MRI scan. 6 books on love. But doing this MRI scan and like talking about that science behind it. But I'm like, you're talking to a person that works in this fucking company that is responsible in a lot of ways for the way that they're operating to some extent. And that's it. We're done with her. Thank you. Thanks for coming out.
Well, it's also dedicated to her, so it looks like she passed at some point.
Yeah. But I mean,
but I get exactly what you're saying. Yeah, I would have
But what do we think about the way that it's being commodified or whatever?
Yeah, maybe get her to speak a little more.
And not even to talk about love, sure, but also she didn't even have to necessarily comment on her employer's apps, but she could have talked about the dating scene in general at this point.
Yeah, especially with her 6 books.
Exactly. So anyway, Tony.
I was gonna just briefly touch on the rating system. Or
the ELO score.
Yeah, that no one knows about except the company. So it's like,
except they're not using it anymore. Wink, wink, wink.
Yeah, wink, 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 wink.
Yeah. It's called something else now.
It's called
like
called
DLO.
FLO.
So if the whole idea between the rating score was if you matched with a lot of people, your score goes up. But if you're getting rejected,
FMP.
If you're getting rejected, your score goes down. If your rate goes up, you're more. You get connected to more of a variety of people, whereas if you're getting rejected and you have a lower score, you're not getting as much, which I think is absolutely fucked.
But then even more insidious was after she got the 804 pages or 841 pages, whatever the fuck, where yes, but even worse, because if you're a female, and you make more than the other person,
Yeah.
then you are ranked worse than if it's the other way, because they're like Match.com is pushing this narrative of like
and age plays a factor too with that.
Yes, it will. Where Match.com is pushing this narrative that like the man is supposed to be older and make more money and be the breadwinner of the family. It cannot be the other way around. Like it's this like 1960s fucking rose-colored glasses version of reality that they're trying to enforce on people against their will, and there's no way to break out of it.
Mm.
Anyway,
It was just
it's bleak.
It's bleak. It's bleak, man.
And of course the whole that they're pushing up the white.
Oh, yeah.
They're
Yeah,
pushing up white women higher
Yeah.
than people of color.
To be perfectly honest with you, I think the niche apps sound like a lot more fun than the actual like your Tinders and your Plenty of Fish. And
They're
that
trying
kind
to
of thing.
fill that gap, right?
Yeah.
They're trying to undo that, what we literally were just talking
Tony's
about.
going on Farmers Only tonight.
Christian Mingle.
Yeah.
Christian,
like,
get the fuck out of here, Christian Mingle.
But it's tough, and like as a former app user, I get it, and it just it's the scene that it is now, and I wouldn't be with the person that I'm with today if I didn't use it. So it's kind of like it's a really tough line to thread. Like I can say all this shit all I want, but like as an actual user and success story, theoretically of it, if they're classifying it, I'm not really a success to their business model because I didn't pay them a fucking dime. But
well,
I paid them all that data. I had to give up part of my soul to do it, but it led to the person I'm with today. So fuck, like
Absolutely.
That's why you got that small penis cream coming in all the time, right?
that's it.
3 things I also want to just bring up touchfully before we change movies. Never met. I have so many questions, and I'm super afraid of any answer that is given to me about Never Met.
I don't have any answers for you. That one was baffling to me as well.
I was like, "What the actual fuck?"
I haven't explored that one yet. So I can't give you that
That's
answer yet.
Dave, canary in the coal mine.
And riding on the coattails of what the fuck AI companions.
Oh,
Jesus Christ!
So the funny thing about that,
Tony.
the funny thing about that, and I implore this, and I implore it to the listeners as well as like a. Sorry, I just started staring at an empty chair as if the listener is here in the room with us.
They're listening.
No, it's actually just Mouse.
It's Mouse.
Mousy.
It on the heels of that, I watched this documentary after John Oliver on the weekend, and his main segment is AI companions.
Ooh, maybe I'll
So
watch that
I
one.
implore you, because this movie kind of touches on it. It doesn't have time to get into
No, it doesn't.
that. Because that is that's a box to unpack in and of itself. Go.
She's offended about it too.
She
wants her own
knows
AI
she doesn't
companion,
need
doesn't
an
she?
AI companion. Go watch this most recent episode of it. So on what would that have been? April 26th. John Oliver. I implore you, if you have HBO or a way to watch that on Crave or whatnot, to go watch that episode, because it's like a 35-minute deep dive on it, and it's
companions.
fucking crazy.
I'll be a canary in the coal mine on that one for you, too,
Yeah.
buddy.
No,
Fantastic.
please don't. Please don't. Please don't.
Did you see like I think it's what Tinder's trying to evolve to. It's like kind of like a VR thing where you like put the glasses on and it's like they'll tell
Augmented reality.
Yeah, where it's like your match is like 900 meters away from you. That kind of thing. I think that is fucked up. This whole thing just like kind of just I've never been on the dating app, so I can't speak to it. I've always been afraid, and like they touch on dating scams, and I'm watching like the segment on dating scams, so I'm like, this is exactly why I've never gone on the fucking dating apps.
This is also, it's not just dating apps though. It's every app, and this is like a microcosm, another fucking $100 word, microcosm of where we are right now in civilization with how much we use technology and how much we need our phones and our apps.
Small additional plug for further deep dives into this. highly, highly recommend Enshittification by Cory Doctorow. It's a book. He does the audiobook if you're more of an audiobook fan. It's a little long, but it dives into exactly what you're talking about and what you're talking about, where we're in this sort of post-capitalistic state of being where apps are just getting shittier and shittier intentionally. And he takes a tech angle on it. So really talking about apps, like talking about how, this will tie maybe into something that we're going to talk about in a little bit, but like how an app can start out super, super great, to users at the expense of its own bottom line until it builds up enough of a mass of users, and then a switch happens, and then you stop having a good time on this app because now it's time to extract as much money from you as humanly possible.
Yeah. Which might be happening in a letterbox soon.
Right.
What,
so
are you kidding?
Yeah, they're in talks to sell, which means buy letterbox potentially. We'll see what happens. Again, we'll talk about this in a little bit, but Enshittification, good book, and kind of talks about this that we're talking about, this future state of things and where things are going and how fucked up things are going to be.
Yeah. Great.
So again, I think that I think Love Actually is an interesting film, and it touches on interesting stuff
in a very short amount of time.
In a very short amount of time, and I definitely think it's a step up from Tech Talk Boom.
Agreed.
Yeah, agreed.
Next.
Okay. Let's do a crowd pleaser and talk about Tower That Built a City.
The CN Tower.
The CN Tower.
So that one. Actually, we've been talking a lot about world premieres this whole time. That one is premiering today.
Nice.
Friday. Because you're listening to this on Friday. That premieres tonight. And that's a Crave. It's produced by Crave. So that'll show up on Crave at some point.
Nice.
I had the pleasure and opportunity to screen this at the CN Tower, which I thought was fucking cool.
Yeah. Tell me about that, Dave.
That was really cool. I showed up late, so that kind of sucked.
Oh, that's a bummer.
But so the theater is underneath.
In the basement?
It's not quite in the basement, but lower down.
Lower level, sure.
Like, have you guys been there in the last little while? Okay, so you know where like the photo booth thing is to buy the photos?
Yes.
Behind there.
Oh, behind that. Okay,
like you go around the corner there, and then you go down, and it's like a little reception area.
Oh, neat.
So you didn't go. Did you go?
I haven't finished.
Okay.
And then
hang on.
So it was like a little reception area, and
Nice.
then they have a theater, and you
Nice.
watch the movie there, and then they took us on a guided tour afterwards. They took us up,
That's
which
cool.
was nice.
That's something I've never had, right? Because like I feel like every time we've gone, it's just you get your little intro sesh with the elevator operator, and then you're just kind of let loose.
So like I wanted it to be a little more in depth, but at the same time, it's a little hard when there's fuck knows how many people there as well as us. But it was still nice and still interesting hearing her tell us different facts about the CN Tower and all the things that they're changing because it's the 50th anniversary.
Yes.
Apparently, there's a dance club in there at one point.
Oh, that's fun.
Right? They had pictures of it, and they apparently had a pop up a few weeks ago, and. The one big piece of information that stuck with me is that they are going to be part of Doors Open Toronto later this summer, I would guess.
Yeah.
And they're going to be showing things that you don't usually get access to. There's a part in the documentary where they keep like kind of looking up at the shaft of the CN Tower. Apparently you get to see it.
Oh, that's cool.
During Doors Open.
That's
so
cool.
I'm very interested in that.
Yeah.
And the last time I was at CN Tower was with Quentin, so we kind of like rushed around.
Yeah.
So it was nice to just kind of like
chill
and kind of just experience the fact that you're so high in the air.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Like the CN Tower is still really cool.
Yeah.
It is still really cool.
Yeah. Last couple times I was there was at night because we went for dinner, and
that'd be nice.
It's kind of a different vibe in the full dark. But did you get to go up to the tippy top?
I didn't this time, but I did last time.
Oh, nice.
I
haven't been up there in ages.
It's fun. It's cool. It is very cool, and I think I convinced my my mother to do the edge walk with me.
Nice.
So if you want to do that,
I would love to. Let's tell me.
Have you done it?
No. I would love to.
Then we're all in.
All right.
Tony
you will not catch me dead. Tony. I will take pictures from below.
Tony, no, we'll bring a parachute.
I was gonna say you gotta get your you gotta bring those
the wire cutters.
Your wire cutters.
Not wire cutters. It's for your jeans.
It's for your jeans.
It's for your jeans. Yeah. Jean cutters.
legitimately laughed out loud when they showed footage from Nirvana
Yeah.
the band to show the movie. I was like, yes, I love that you put this in here.
I was wondering if they were going to, again, talking about like how recent something is that's super recent.
So I love that they put that. Of course, they didn't put them jumping off the CN Tower, but they showed them, or them bringing in the fucking pant cutters, but they did show them fucking around at it.
Yeah.
So that was kind of fun. But so it's kind of the history of the CN Tower and how it came to be, and the pissing match between Toronto and Montreal in the 50s and 60s, and then how they're using the CN Tower as kind of like the post that kind of made Toronto kind of a bigger deal.
The lightning rod. For evolution.
For evolution in Toronto. And then it talks about sports dynasties. It mentions TIFF. And then it talks about film as well.
And a big talk about City TV.
I love when Moses Zeimer showed up. I was like, I know you. Yeah. That guy is very full of himself.
He came across that way.
He's a big deal. He did some great things, but he's also very full of himself. Yeah. True story. He is the inspiration for what's his name, Max Wren in Videodrome.
Oh, neat.
Moses Zeimer is the inspiration for that character.
Speaking of Cronenberg, I didn't realize that it was Caitlin Cronenberg that took the photo of the CN Tower that's on Drake's album.
That's cool.
That's wild. I didn't realize that's a Cronenberg OG.
When I was watching it, I was like, why the fuck did they get Caitlin? Why is
she EP'd it too?
Exactly, right? But I'm like, why is David not here? Did she not have the money to get David? But then when they go into the segment about Drake, and it's like she took the photo for the album, and then she executive. I was like, okay,
she's also executive producer on it.
One thing I will say about this documentary is I think it is fucking blasphemous to compare Drake to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Like he was like some sort of like God. I don't know.
Maybe at the time.
Maybe at the time, but like comparing him to Jesus is a bit of a stretch.
It's a little bit weird, but yeah, I think that was maybe a little bit too far, but you know, to the maybe distilled message of that he's probably the biggest star of recent memory that's come out of Toronto that's really put Toronto on a map in the music scene.
Cardinal left the show.
But Cardinal never made it that far out. Like,
I love that he kept coming up though.
I appreciate that they
love that they got him.
And I appreciate that Bacardi slang.
But you can't like, you know, you can think whatever you want about his music or him as a person, but he was successful in that, and he's a consummate like fanboy of Toronto. Yeah. Like in terms of putting, you know, getting the name of Toronto out there even more than it was. From that angle of the documentary, I can accept that, but yeah, you're right. Like comparing it, and also being like Drake. Also, The Weeknd. I was like, The Weeknd's huge. Are you fucking? Well, I don't know. He made that movie that I'm never gonna talk about again.
We try not to talk about it.
For me, it was The Picture, and then they went back to like the 10 Commandments.
Yeah. I know they had.
And then they had
the wash you. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, come on,
settle down, Cardinal.
Settle down, guys.
Yeah,
there was some weird.
I was the John the Baptist to him being. I'm like,
that made me giggle. That made me giggle.
Fuck off,
I was like, what are you going on about?
Yeah,
they kept bringing in Steve Nash. I was like,
Steve, sweet boy Steve Nash.
I love Steve Nash. It's interesting, and I like what they're doing, and I like how they use it kind of as a jumping off point for all sorts of other things.
Well, because I was thinking about this afterwards. I was like, when you really break this movie down, the bit about the CN Tower is maybe a short film that they could literally build into the CN Tower experience if they wanted. Like, it's like 20 minutes max. The rest of the documentary is about the city of Toronto itself. And
and specifically some of they focus on some of the big sports moments.
They do.
I like that they brought in Joe Carter. I like that.
Joe Carter. They talked about Gretzky and like what Gretzky did for hockey, and then how Gretzky beat the Leafs, and then later the Canadians
did for hockey. They talked about what Doug Gilmour at the time was doing for hockey.
Exactly, Doug Gilmour, and then they go into like the Raptors and how they were arguing over what they
Start
should
of
call
the team,
what they should call them, and then when they called them the Raptors, they're all like, "What the fuck? Jurassic Park is big," so like we just decided to call them the Raptors.
That makes perfect sense.
Makes perfect sense.
Well, when as they said it in there, they're like, if you let children name your team, that's what you're gonna get.
It's a lot better than Toronto Towers. Get the fuck out of here.
Dumb.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate it because like when they started talking about the new women's Toronto hockey team, they said the Towers were one. I was like,
Scepters,
give me a fucking break.
I can't. I love that every time we're fucking looking to name a new goddamn team, and there's always the fucking Towers.
Always the fucking Towers.
Or a
Always
new stadium.
Towers.
Like it's always like the Tower Dome. Great.
When they're talking about the Sky Dome, and there was that one guy who was just like, if you look at it from a certain angle, the CN Tower actually looks like a penis, and the Sky Dome looks like a vagina.
I love that.
Thanks, dude, because now I can't unsee it.
Now you can unsee it.
I appreciate that he also had a revelation. He always saw it because he says, I always saw it as a vagina. And he's like, I guess if you look at it, it's kind of like a scrotum. And he like had this revelation in the movie. I'm like, that's wild, man.
But some of the other moments, like I didn't realize the Raptors played at the Sky Dome, and they said, and
That was weird.
I love how they said that. It's like, what the fuck is this? This looks like high school basketball.
Oh yeah, like those shots they built out like they used like one section of the Sky Dome and filled it to the rafters, and then had like a riser on this side and like a tiny court. And I'm like, this photo looks insane. How are you watching a basketball game? This looks fucking stupid.
But there's other moments, and there's other moments that like literally like hit me because like it gave me chills because like I remember it. So like when Vince Carter came in and like what Carter did for the city and like basically got the Raptors the recognition, and then you go in and when they traded DeRozan for Kawhi and Danny Green and like the shot that everyone held their breath for, and then when the Raptors won the finals, the championship, and like the big grand parade.
Yeah.
That's like probably one of the best parades, if not the best parade in NBA championship history.
I was there.
Yeah, I remember you.
I love when Doug Gilmour's like, "Fuck, I wasn't ever there."
But if the Leafs won, I would definitely be there.
Well,
But yeah, I had an appointment downtown that day. That was a rough fucking day. It was a bad day.
But it's
cool as shit though.
Cool as shit. And they did the bat flip when Batista got the home run.
Yeah.
And
They focused on a lot of great sports moments. I think they could have done a little bit more with film.
Literally
as well.
anything else. Yeah.
Like they kept being like, "Oh yeah, and TIFF. Oh yeah, and TIFF." Like I know I'm like a TIFF fanboy.
No,
but at the same time,
but these sports moments are huge moments, and they were huge moments for Toronto.
I just think that there's more than just sports.
Yeah,
there's 100% more than like it. You know, the whole point of this documentary is that Toronto's it's a multicultural city. It's a multicultural city. It's yada 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 yada. But
you're only focusing on sports.
If you distill this down, it's like sports teams.
Yeah,
and it's like, okay, but there's more to that. Like they didn't touch on the food scene once, not even once. You're talking about a multicultural city. You're not even talking about like the plethora of incredible restaurants that exist, incredible
and how
food
big
that's
a
being
deal
made.
they are.
And yeah, like we have fucking Michelin star everything up and down the block in that city. Like. You're just avoiding
the ramen place we like is like the best in the world.
Yeah.
Like one of the best in the world.
Yeah. Like this is what I mean. Like it focused, and I'm not disagreeing with you. It's just it felt like the Mark Myers, the director, was maybe too much of a sports fanboy and like pulled the film fully in that direction and like just kept focus on it. It's not denying that they're big moments. It's just that it took up most of the air in the room.
Yeah.
Like it was Toronto. We have Drake, who's the second coming of Christ, apparently. And we have the Raptors, and we have
the Blue
Jays, and we have the Leafs. Don't talk about them. They haven't won for a while. But like we have sports. We also have TIFF. Also, Much Music was pretty cool.
I wish they went a little bit more into Much Music. While still talking about sports, I was very angry that they didn't include that they only favorited baseball and basketball. I was very pissed off that they didn't include TFC because TFC did win a championship, and they did go to at least I think 3 times in the span of like 5 years, winning it too.
It's just it's tough. Like
the Argos too. Like
no,
I know
that's Canadian.
Like
football.
I know we're Tiger Cats. Like I know we're all Tiger Cats fans now, but like
it's just
the Argos.
I was struggling with this a little bit. Like, I found all of the old Toronto stuff very fascinating. When we're talking about building the Skydome, when we're talking about building the CN Tower, when we're talking about who did what, like, and them talking to all these architects, and I thought I found it very fascinating to watch it being built. Once that was done, I felt like it didn't really know what else to kind of like. It picked a couple things. It was like, I'm just going to focus on this for the rest of it, and that. But your thesis of the film is like this was the tower that changed the city. Like, this evolved it into the Toronto that we know and love. And here's what the Toronto that we know and love is. And what you told me was the Toronto that you know and love, Mark Myers, was sports. And that is kind of a disservice, I think, to your overall, what you're trying to say about the city. Like, you have George Stroumboulopoulos and, what was the guy from City TV?
Moses Eimner.
Like, you have them there, and Moses was talking more about, the birth of City TV, and also him getting top billing on the fucking tippity top of the CN Tower. Good for him.
Those scenes were cool, though.
I loved those bits.
The drone shots when they like go up the tower and they
those
come
are
right
cool
back.
too.
I think would have hit in the theater. I would have loved to see those shots on a big screen.
Yeah, it was cool in the theater, and I didn't know that they had a bunch of kids sign the thing. I thought that's kind
again
cool
from the history angle. I was learning quite a lot. And I found that very enjoyable. It was just everything they were talking about modern day Toronto. They just focused only on sports to me, and
there's
so much more.
There
to the
is
city
more
than
to
that.
life than sports.
So
like they're a big deal.
No denying, but you can't only focus
and they bring
on that.
the people together.
And Toronto was right for a film festival. We'll never talk about it again. We'll never talk about Mirvish. Like, we'll never talk about like any of the other cultural offerings that the city has. No, Drake. Fuck, like
yeah. I think like I learned a lot, but I do think that they do a disservice by not getting into other things other than like sports should have been a section.
Yeah.
And then entertainment should have been a section.
Yeah.
And definitely we should have had something about food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we should have like had something about like more into immigration.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And just how the face of Toronto continues to change and how Toronto is always evolving. Yeah. And I thought it was interesting when they were talking about how they wanted to like tear down Union Station and like
and
they don't talk about like the revitalization of Union Station, where it's like I used to go to Union Station every fucking day, and now I go like maybe like once every 2 weeks now, and I don't recognize anything.
Yeah, buddy, I get lost every time I'm there. I'm like, why does this not look normal anymore?
It's so difficult. I'm like, I used to come here every day. How do I not know where anything is?
But even to that, like they only kind of, they had that again historical interviews. And I guess present interviews because they had I'm forgetting the mayor's name right now.
I want to say Crombie, but I don't.
Crombie.
Is it Crombie?
David Crombie.
Yeah.
Who was mayor during that era. I thought that was very cool. Although they did leave that one moment in where like he gets a phone call, and I was like,
I thought that was kind of fun.
You couldn't cut that. Like, why? It just doesn't serve any purpose to anything. But anyway, but then they also had the really old mayor Gardner, titularly the Gardner Expressway Gardner. Talking about like,
oh, he's the dick, right?
He's the dick who's like, I was alive in 1896. What's historic about me? Go fuck yourself. Like, there was an angle there that they could have investigated more, and they just had that one thing, and it was like, okay, because Toronto has a problem with that.
And they didn't mention Rob Ford. He's there for a minute, but they didn't mention him. He also put Toronto on the map.
Oh, in a big way.
Maybe it's not a great thing, but like he was a big deal.
Yeah.
There was
like he was worldwide fucking news.
This was just a celebration of Toronto only. I didn't want to talk about any of the.
But there's like everything was just surface level. They could have done more.
Agreed.
To just like be more general instead of just focusing on why are you only focusing on sports?
Yeah.
Like there could have been other things just to make it more broad and more like there's more to life than Toronto. There's more
to Toronto.
More to Toronto than just this.
Why'd I call it Toronto? What the fuck is wrong with me?
Toronto.
Toronto.
That's
I lived in Toronto. I need to call it by its proper name.
True.
Yep. But don't get me wrong. If you love Toronto, if Toronto means if a piece of Toronto means something to you, then you'll find something in this documentary.
Once we got past the sports bit, the ending of this film, especially when they were interviewing at that point Domi Shi a little bit more, and George Stroumboulopoulos and a few of the others, but talking more generally about Toronto. I did have and they're talking about it's always there and you can always see it, and it just you look up at this tower and it's something that I still look at and feel. It makes me feel something every time I drive into the city because I see it, or even here in Stony Creek at my mom's place, on a good clear day you can see it.
Yeah,
and I think about it all the time. It does bring so much pride, that it's there, and it's an incredible sight to behold. It's crazy to stand underneath it as well. It's so fucking incomprehensibly large, and it looms over everything in such a cool way. Gargantuan, if you will.
There's this spot up at Yonge and Bloor. They're just down from Yonge and Bloor, where it's near the Manulife Center, and it's between two buildings, and it's just a lower thing, and you could see it perfectly.
Yeah.
And I have so many pictures of it because I always remember that one shot of it because it looks so.
Yeah, it just I don't know, that ending of the documentary. I really it hit me in a way, and I was like, man, this is really good. I just wish I had more of that throughout the entire film.
Yeah, that would be
definitely.
Yeah, so
right.
flawed.
Still a celebration. A little bit too singularly focused, where it could have covered a little bit more.
Yeah, but that literally world premieres later today.
Awesome. Tone.
Okay,
what are we finishing on?
We're wrapping this up with another crowd pleaser, one that is near and dear to my heart, because I was deep into this era. I am
baptized in the waters of Lake Minnetonka.
Absolutely. I am talking about the documentary called MySpace.
Hell yeah. First off, before we talk about it, big up plug if you haven't seen it, because you're listening to this episode, look one episode down from here. You'll see a quick little interview that our boy Dave here did with director Tommy Avalone, about this film and everything that goes into it. So listen to us here now, go watch it, then go listen to the interview. You'll get the full experience.
It's a very good interview. You did a good job, Dave.
Thank you. I'm also proud that I told him about Bay Street Video, and then he went.
Yeah.
And he posted it on Instagram, and I was like,
he went there because of you, buddy.
He went there because of me. So I was like, "You're welcome, Bay Street Video."
I will say, and I'm not gonna give too much of the details away, but there was a moment in this interview that I did that ended up on the cutting room floor where he goes and gets his phone and then Googles the address and figures out how far it is. It's only a 6-minute walk, and I'm like, that's wild, man.
It was. Yeah,
but you did that.
I did that. So I am glad that I did that. And Tommy was he was a lot of fun to talk to. Yeah. So thank you both for
thank you for
the shout out. But you guys should definitely check out that interview, or should definitely listen to that interview.
Please do. Anyway, back to the documentary itself.
Yeah.
So MySpace is basically the.
Tell it for the Gen Alphas that listen to us.
Yeah.
What's a MySpace, Tony?
What's a MySpace?
What the fuck is a MySpace?
MySpace is your crazy Uncle Larry's first Facebook, basically. I would say
crazy Uncle Larry, crazy Uncle Tony's.
Crazy Uncle Tony's first social network site.
Yeah, and mine too.
Yeah.
It was a lot of people's first.
I fucking loved MySpace.
Yeah.
And this documentary tracks the start, the rise, the fall, and where it is now.
Everything in between.
And everything in between. And it has who's who of
MySpace.
Of MySpace king users and MySpace influencers.
Yeah.
anyone from Tila Tequila.
Yeah, a name I never thought I was going to hear again in 2026.
She popped up. I was like, oh, whatever happened to Tila Tequila? Yeah. She was all over. She was all over MySpace.
When they mentioned
what was with those fucking contacts?
Yeah, they were bad. What was baffling, and I had completely blacked it out of my memory. But she brought up, and I'm like, yeah. Then I did a shot of love with. I'm like, a shot of love with Tila Tequila. I remember that show. It was fucking bad.
Yeah.
And then Dane Cook.
MySpace
wild. Super King, Jeffree Star.
Yes.
He was like an OG influencer.
That was his launch.
That was he launched on MySpace.
Little yak farm.
Oh man, Jeffree Star is a wild guy.
I still have the fucking weed grinder you got.
Yeah. I still use that weed grinder.
If there's one thing that'll always give Jeffree Star credit for, it's got good quality products.
Good quality.
Man makes good. Like he won't put out anything that's bad. Like it's good quality shit.
And like I just liked I liked some of the musicians that they got on there too, because Little John talking in like
hilariously accurate to the Dave Chappelle sketch about Little John.
It was so jarring.
So when I was on MySpace.
So jarring to hear him talk. And I like
the dude from Dashboard.
The dude from Dashboard Confessional got their start there too.
Simple Plan.
It was crazy because like I remember I found a lot of my music on MySpace.
Totally.
And it was crazy. And I liked they went deeper. They like tried to go deeper into the zeitgeist of Tom. And I like how Tom basically started MySpace in his garage. That is
the myth.
The myth.
Yeah. The myth. They tell you how it actually started.
Yeah.
They talk about.
But I was like, but he started in his garage. Like I would actually believe that. Like that does sound right.
Yeah. Just that. I found that sort of the beginning. Like I enjoyed sort of the homage that it was paying to the MySpace that once was. Like it truly like, and it was maybe Dane Cook, one of the talking heads, basically was like it was an era of social media that never will exist again. Like it's
the innocence.
Truly, where you were just connecting with either people you knew or people you didn't know, because like the way that they built it was just cribbing off all these other kind of like, it's like Asian Meetup or whatever, like all these like niche sites again, and like they stitched what they liked from every kind of site, put it together into this thing, and like unleashed it into the world. Made everyone's first friend Tom. He's my first online friend because he was everyone's first online friend, and I like even they talked about why they did that. Even of just like, when you enter, you don't want to be alone.
No,
you gotta have somebody that you know.
Have Tom.
Here's Tom. Tom loves you. And just that, like,
we love Tom.
And just that innocence, and like even talking about to Dane Cook, and who would just be like, he'd reply to every one of his friends. They talk about Taylor Swift for a bit and how like she would literally reply to every single message from every one of her fans at the beginning, because it was just a complete easy way to engage fully with your audience.
It was one of those sites where it just it
you had to be there.
You had to be there, and it encouraged you to just let your freak flag fly high.
Yeah,
and that's what we loved about MySpace.
Truly, I think, Tony, to your point, and again for the Gen Alphas that don't understand what we're even talking about, the level of customization. Thank you. The level of customization that it offered was insane. Like,
I feel disgusted with myself.
You should go wash yourself. Go bathe in Lake Minnetonka.
I'm gonna have to. I feel so embarrassed.
Prince is ashamed.
Everyone's ashamed.
So the level of customization that it gave you, where it's like, you had your basic stock page, but like you could do anything to the underlying base code of that site. Like anything. Change your background, change your mouse pointer. Let your mouse pointer have words that followed it around the page. Have a music player that starts automatically when you get on there. Change the logos. Change the fucking online guy. You could make him whatever the fuck you wanted. instead of a top 8, fuck it, make it top 20. Who gives a shit?
It encouraged people to code, and I'm
And
fairly
learn-
certain some of my friends
Yeah.
learned coding by MySpace.
Truly, there was whole like niche internet markets of like, here's an entire, you want your MySpace page to look like this? Just copy this code. And like people like were writing HTML and CSS specifically to modify MySpace pages.
Yeah.
It was wild. It was truly wild. And then yes, if you had a band, anyone had a band, whether you were a shit high school band or you were a big band, like
you had
Lil
a
Jon,
MySpace.
you had a MySpace
You had a
page.
MySpace.
And you had to have a MySpace page.
It
Many a demo was put up on there.
It gets into it's the innocence and the nostalgia,
Absolutely.
I think. And it does go like there's certain elements that are fluffy, but at the same time, it's also not getting into what social media became. And I think
Correct.
that's a good thing because it's trying to capture a moment.
Yeah.
As opposed to being like, well, this is what happened next.
Well, but even that, like it talks about basically how Facebook ate their lunch because that was the next move. Like when we were on MySpace, there was a very distinct moment where it was like, no, it's time to leave. You're moving over to Facebook now. And like Facebook was the cool spot to be in because it didn't have any ads. That was the big thing. And they talk about it in this one too. And like, one of the founders is like, yeah, I think my one regret is I think we tried to monetize too soon.
Too soon, yeah.
Like we pushed too hard to extract money from ads. And we lost out to Facebook because Facebook did the classic sort of thing. If you look at every town, it's the full like, come to us. We don't have any ads. You're just going to connect with your friends. And then the moment they had everyone, they were like, perfect, ads. Go fuck yourself. And now where are you going to go? Because MySpace is already dead. And you remember that Wild West too of other ones trying to start. What was it? Fucking like Google Plus.
Oh yeah,
or
Google Plus.
Yeah, or whatever. Like even Twitter at the beginning, right? Like that tried to suck the users out, but it was doing its own thing anyway.
Spaces? Is that what it was called? Twitter Spaces.
And well, Twitter was doing its own thing.
Yeah,
we'll let Twitter go, but like Google specifically.
X now,
yeah, I know. But at the time, it was Twitter. We're talking about an era here.
Yes. I remember the Google. I remember
Google tried to do one.
Yeah.
Someone else tried to do one, and then. Now you're at a point where just Facebook kind of owns everything. Like they own Instagram. Google's not even going to bother with a fucking social media platform at this point. Your only option is...
Well, they have YouTube.
Yeah, social media in the same way of like that posts and yada.
Yes,
YouTube again was its own thing, and it's still kind of its own thing. But
I like that that it sticks with it, and it kind of shows you that Facebook it doesn't shy away from the fact that Facebook fucked it.
Yeah. Yeah, they ruined Facebook. It. They ruined it for everybody.
I also like
that they talked about that during the fall and like the rebuying of MySpace by those two guys, and like there's like, oh, it was just on the heels of the Social Network, so like it was great that we got Justin Timberlake and like, cool. Yeah,
it's interesting and it's nostalgic, and I like where it goes. I like where it goes, and it's one of the ones. Like I would say that it's softer in certain elements, but I also feel like it did its job better than some of the other ones we've talked about tonight that were very like
it was focused at least
high level. Like I like this was focused.
Yeah, but because it went in with the thesis of just like, hey, we're just going to talk about MySpace for a while. Like we're just going to tell the world about this
MySpace
era of time.
Yeah,
and I think it accomplishes that goal, and it again, it doesn't. It's not going super deep, but it also doesn't shy away from,
it doesn't need to.
Yeah. Like
it doesn't need to.
It was a bad decision to sell to Fox, but they did. And they made a shitload of money. And, Tom's like fucking just walking the earth out in Vietnam or wherever the fuck he is.
I want to be more like Tom. Just walk the earth.
I like towards the end where they're just like, what a terrible culture we've created.
Yeah. Yeah. Yikes. Whoops.
I asked him about that, and that was very much his response.
Like, whoopsie.
Whoopsie.
But it's like, who knew at that time, right?
It's
like,
true.
no one knew. It was an innocent time on the internet still. We didn't know how crazy these things were going to become. And, to your point, Dave, like, I enjoyed the nostalgia and the look back of this one and to the bygone era that was MySpace. But, otherwise, it's like, if you don't have a connection to MySpace, I don't know what you're going to really get out of this one.
It's true. I love the shit.
Unless you want to learn about MySpace.
So you want to learn about it, but like, yeah, I don't know. It does enough to give you the feeling of the.
I think this movie's for the millennials.
Yeah.
And
that's the target audience.
The target, exactly. I'm hitting the nail on the head. It's for the millennials that were there during that time.
Yeah.
The Gen Xers that were there during the time.
Yeah.
If you have no connection to MySpace, you're probably not gonna like.
You'll learn about it.
You'll learn about it, but you're not gonna. You're not gonna have that connection to it. I loved it because like I was in the fucking heart of it. And I loved MySpace.
Yeah,
I loved it so much. I got all my music from it. I found all these like weird mashups and everything. I learned all these bands. When Gym Class Heroes comes on, I was like, holy shit! I fucking love Gym Class Heroes.
I was in the Clerks 2 credits.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job. You were interacting with Kevin Smith.
I did. I did.
But it was so that whole era was crazy.
Yeah,
it was crazy, and it was like what a time! What a time!
Yeah,
it was because like that was the middle. That would have been the middle of high school for us, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Because it was the tail end of high school and it was only for a brief section of high school because I remember tail end of high school it was all about
Facebook.
It was all about Facebook.
Yeah.
You guys are dating yourselves.
Yeah, we are.
I mean, it's what happened. Like, it was we transitioned from like elementary school was MSN Messenger in a big way.
Yeah.
I miss MSN.
And then MSN pivoted over to MySpace. Essentially, you had to be on MySpace, so that was like late, like grade 8 into the beginning of high school. But by I think grade 11, that's when the funnel started for Facebook at that point.
I remember in grade 9, it was like we were still on MSN, and then in grade 9, this is super niche, and like I was on
Gina.
Yeah, Gina. It was Gina, and that place was a fucking cesspool. looking back on my time on Gina,
a bunch of fucking wops from Vaughan,
a bunch of freaking wops and Europeans from Vaughan, or fucking
you got viruses from that thing.
Yeah, it was ridiculous, and I was glad that was only like a 6-month period, and then we went into MySpace.
It was such an era, like at that time where it was like, oh fuck, we had LimeWire running or Kazaa, depending on when you started.
Kazaa Lite, if you didn't want viruses.
Yeah, and then it was like LimeWire Pro because Kazaa went tits up because of fucking Metallica.
I had WinMX.
Napster. I love that this documentary this touched a little bit on Napster.
Yeah, Napster went tits up because of Metallica. Then it was LimeWire, and then it was Kazaa for a little bit in between there.
BearShare.
BearShare. My God, Dave.
We are dating ourselves.
Actually,
now.
by the time LimeWire died, that's when there was just like index pages on the internet that you could search for music. Like you could literally, there was like a Google search string that you could throw in with the song title, and it would bring you to like backdoor internet pages that would like let you right click download these MP3s. It was fucking crazy. It was a weird era.
But that's why I loved MySpace, because I didn't want the viruses from LimeWire.
Exactly.
You just go to MySpace and it was right there. You could download it.
Yeah.
It was an innocent.
What a time.
What a time.
What a time.
What a time.
But I loved this captures that.
I loved the shit out of this documentary. But I am the target audience.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for what it was, and it gave it clearly based on all these fucking memories I'm dragging out of my head right now. Like it brings you back to a time and place.
Yeah.
So
and with that,
does that wrap us up?
That wraps us up.
Great.
A little short and sweet. Little taste of hot dogs.
I don't think it was short or sweet.
It
was sweet. It was
sweet. Well,
we
only covered 5 movies, and look at how much we talked about them.
We talked about 5 movies for an hour and a half. That's fucking crazy.
We had a lot to say.
We had a lot to say. I'm kind of terrified for next week when we go into the rest.
We're gonna bring out like one of those chess timers where you have to like ding, clock in, and you only have like 2 minutes a person. So. Yeah. Yeah, you have to use your time very sparingly.
Oh God, that's going to be a whiplash episode.
Yeah. It's going to be a good time. So stick around for that. Hot Docs is on until this Sunday, May 3rd.
Yeah, so get it in while you can, and any one of the ones that we mentioned, all worthy of your watch tonight. And we'll be back next week with more for all of you. And
maybe we'll talk about some Prada wearing devil, maybe too.
some
Maybe.
Dolce and Gabbana.
Some fashion movie.
Yeah.
Something starring
The
Anne Hathaway.
The Tucci Man.
The Tucci Man. Yeah.
The Tooch.
The goddess that is Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Emily Blunt.
I think Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt.
Yeah.
I heard Kenneth Branagh's in it.
Ooh, Kenneth
Ooh,
Branagh.
Thespian.
He
Oscar-winning
did.
thespian.
They
Kenneth Branagh.
paid him enough money to shave off his Hercule Poirot mustache.
Maybe.
Finally,
We'll find out.
Is he going to have an accent?
We're gonna find out.
we're
aren't
gonna
we?
find out.
We're gonna find out, and you will find out as well.
Yeah.
Until then,
I'm still Jimmy. I'm here with
Big T Tony B.
Yeah, and
Dave, Smooth Criminal Baldwin.
excellent. We'll see you all very soon.